Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and let's look again at some of the most craziest things on planet Earth and how they have literally no explanation from an official scientific standpoint. We're starting with Bolivia. So according to the scientist media outlets, the wind that blew in a particular direction removed some of the rock, and the rock took this particular unique shape. Alright, why the top is different from the bottom and why are they almost round? Literally, the mainstream media has no clue about what's this event happening in Bolivia and why these super ancient stones look so different, the top and the bottom. Obviously, these are not rocks from my personal point of view. They look more like eggs, right? Which makes more sense. Or a sculpture made by the ancient giants, for example. So this is definitely a creation which was done by an intelligent being or put in there, like I said before, a giant egg which was petrified over time of a huge creature, for example a giant dragon back in the day. But this is just a theory, of course nobody knows, but what's clear that this, guys, is not just nature's way of doing this, because it doesn't matter how you blow the wind in whatever direction you may want to do it, you cannot achieve this level of perfection in terms of how you want to make that ball or that type of egg effectively. And even the color of the stone itself is very different with the base, so it clearly indicates that some form of intelligence was at work here, putting that item in there thousands of years ago in the past, which is just absolutely mind-blowing, guys. Now let's go somewhere else. Let's go to the Zion Park in Utah in United States of America, where there is a freaking crazy underground canyon 24 kilometers long and 800 meters deep. Scientists said that this was washed out by the water and basically calling it the underground. I mean, come on, give me a break. Jokes are jokes, but like, the canyon really looks like a modern day snowdrift. Perfect shaped vertically groves on the wall, whereas they should be horizontal when exposed to the water. So obviously this doesn't make any sense. And no traces of water erosion were found. The tracks look like a modern mining machine, like a drilling machine, so to speak. But what's most amazing is that this tunnel, which was man-made with tracks, goes under the water deep into the ocean. Okay, so this is a perfect example. This massive huge canyon, which effectively they're saying that is pure natural formation, it's physically impossible. I mean, come on, like, just be real for a second. And why are the scientists so afraid of acknowledging that yes, this was caused by an ancient machine? It's pretty obvious, it's pretty clear. No natural water stream can make this formation, it's just physically impossible. So this was made by a modern, highly advanced, gigantic drill thousands of years ago. Why are they afraid of saying this? Because obviously that means that the evolution theory, for example, which is a hoax effectively, I'm sorry, but if you believe in it, then you're very ignorant from my personal point of view. Okay, this is just my personal point of view. People who believe in the theory of evolution just have a lot to learn, because there's just so many things that just prove it wrong. And this is again one of those things, like, this does not stand in any way, in shape or form alongside the theory of evolution, because we know exactly that back in the past, thousands of years ago, super ancient civilizations managed to create this amazing tunnel, and of course much more in the world. And now guess what, we're going into Russia. So this one is close to a city called Petrov, and this is a sculpture of a solid block of granite. And guess what, this is literally buried under, and they are not going to unearth it. They're afraid. All right, pre-revolutionary guidebooks are silent about this giant. For 2 centuries, no one has seriously studied it. No one has thought to dig it up, the statue as a whole, and measure it and decide what the heck this is all about. Why is that? I mean, why are they afraid of doing this? Why are they afraid of actually studying it? I mean, if I see that massive stone there, alright, and I just ignore it, Are you kidding me? Again, all I can say here is, guys, just give me a break. Why is mainstream science, mainstream technology, mainstream culture, mainstream economy, doesn't matter what I call it, mainstream ways of thinking are just completely blind to this, and they don't want to actually go and explore and find out because they're afraid of what they might find underneath. Just imagine for a second if underneath the statue is going to be another statue or a city or something that could potentially destroy the whole history of the area, and maybe just bring in too many questions that they cannot answer, and of course is going to bring uncomfortable situations for history books because they have to rewrite history, and as we all know, the mainstream media does not like to rewrite history because they just want to tell you the history that they want you to believe, and that's that. And let's look at this one, guys. This one is a very interesting one, and I'm pretty sure lots of people don't even know about this similarity. So here we have the Nikola Tesla's electric oscillator, and then we have the Egyptian Ankh. That's right. So the Ankh is a famous Egyptian sign. On the left side, we have the depiction of the Tesla coil device with a flat inductor and an overheat inductor arrangement. The Egyptian did not draw abstract symbols of life or power to the gods, but represented real technical devices for the public. So effectively, these people were using this device to generate some sort of electricity, some sort of energy. Okay, of what purpose, for what was it used? Obviously, we have no idea, but it's pretty clear that back in ancient Egypt, the culture of that time was way more advanced than we are led to believe. So they did not use slaves to create the pyramids, and the culture back then had a lot of technology and knowledge, which is now completely lost to humanity. And maybe the answers lie beneath the pyramids, maybe they lie beneath the Sphinx, for example. However, they do not want to let us go inside because right now there's a big ban on exploration under the pyramids in Egypt because they're afraid that the more rooms people discover, the more dangerous it's going to get because people are going to find out the truth, and they're afraid of the truth because it awakens people's minds and people start thinking what? Independently, which is a big risk, of course, for the controlling world order. And guys, that's it for today's video on these amazing discoveries. To be honest, they're just absolutely fantastic, and one thing I would say is this is just pretty cool. As a bonus, I'm just gonna throw in there this temple in India, guys, just as a small bonus, purely because this picture here just shows like the great civilization of the Indian realm before, thousands of years ago, and now the current culture. And how do you explain yourself? Like the people from back in the day, they created these majestic, amazing temples and with columns that actually can move, alright? But now they've lost the knowledge and they have even no idea why the columns moved in the first place. From my point of view, my theory is that they were used to create some sort of etheric energy in the temple, which would then be spread across the population, across the city, and give the city some sort of like energy or something like that. But of course, that's just a theory. However, just this photo, guys, just kind of showcases that, how like society right now has forgotten the miracles and the wonders of the past only a couple years ago, a couple thousand years ago. Because what? Because of the great resets which have happened, and the history again does not want to acknowledge because they're trying to hide the truth from you, and that is that we are really here, but we are not the first humanity, and by no length of time. We are maybe the 4th, the 5th, or the 6th humanity right now on this planet, and after us a new one is gonna come as well after the next reset. And guys, this is for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next one. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I shall see you in the next uploads. Bye.